Let's start with the hard truth. If you've been working for 10 or 20 years, grinding every day, and even seeing your salary go up, but every month you look at your bank account and realize you're still as broke as a college student, then you need to stop and listen very carefully to what I have to say. Most people think the reason they aren't wealthy is because they don't earn enough, or because they missed out on some moonshot crypto or a bull market. I am here to tell you that you are wrong. The reason you cannot keep money is because there is a thief living in your house. And that thief is none other than the habits you have hand-fed yourself for years. I always say the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Right now, those chains are on you. They are robbing you blind in broad daylight. They are stealing your savings, stealing your weekends, and stealing your hope for an early retirement. The worst part, you are making excuses for these robbers, calling it quality of life. Over the next 40 minutes, I am going to tear apart the 5 habits that are gutting your wealth every single day. These habits are the holes in the bottom of your financial bucket. If you don't plug these holes, it doesn't matter if I pour all the money in the world into your bucket, you will still end up with nothing but an empty container. If you feel like you started late, or if you feel like you're stuck in the mud, then what comes next is your lifeline. If you are ready for the truth, then let's get to work. The first thief we need to talk about, and perhaps the most arrogant one, is what I call performance spending. The reason most people are a financial mess isn't because they don't understand investing, it's because they are too desperate to make others think they are successful. Have you ever wondered why someone earning $60,000 a year would buy a $50,000 car? Why a young person with less than $1,000 in the bank would wait in line for 3 hours to buy a bag with a luxury logo on it? The answer is simple, and it is brutal. You are paying a tax, but it's not a tax paid to the government. It's what I call the insecurity tax. When you buy a luxury item you cannot afford, you aren't buying functionality. You are buying a temporary relief for your insecurity. You are using external objects to scream at the world, look at me, I've made it, I'm successful. But I am telling you, true success is quiet. I have a principle called the inner scorecard versus the outer scorecard. Most people spend their entire lives living by an outer scorecard. They care about what the neighbors think, what their colleagues think, and how many likes they get on social media. For this fake report card, they sacrifice their actual financial freedom. I always ask my friends this question: would you rather be the world's greatest lover but have everyone think you're the world's worst? Or would you rather be the world's worst lover but have everyone think you're the world's greatest? If you choose the latter, you are living your life by the outer scorecard. Look at my life. I still live in the same house I bought in 1958 for $31,000. Does it leak? No. Is it cold? No. It provides all the security and comfort my family needs. Why would I move? Just to make a magazine reporter think I'm richer? That would be plain stupid. You must understand that wealth is what you don't see. It's the luxury car you didn't buy. It's the diamond you didn't purchase. It's the capital you didn't squander. Every time you swipe your card just for face, you are personally murdering a money soldier that could have worked for you for decades. Think about it. If you took that $5,000 you spent on a luxury watch and put it into an index fund returning 10% annually, 30 years later, that $5,000 becomes nearly $90,000. You didn't just buy a watch. You bought away 3 years of your future freedom. So, starting today, before you pay for anything expensive, ask yourself, do I actually need this, or do I just need people to see that I have it? If you are paying because of the latter, then the thief has already won. The second thief we need to discuss is a parasite that hides in the shadows and never sleeps. I call it reverse compounding. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world when it works for you. But most people don't realize that compounding has an evil twin that works just as hard to make you poor. This thief's favorite hiding place is in your wallet, in that stack of colorful credit cards. I have seen many brilliant people, well-educated, earning great salaries, who are paying 18 or 20% interest on credit card debt. Mathematically, this is suicide. If you are paying 18% interest while trying to figure out how to earn a 7 or 8% return through investing, you are running against a hurricane. For every step you take forward, gravity pulls you back 2 steps. You aren't investing. You are working as a high-priced slave for the bank. I call high-interest debt a financial tapeworm. A tapeworm lives inside your body, and every bit of good nutrition you eat, it sucks out first. High interest debt operates the same way. Your hard-earned overtime bonus, every dollar you save by skipping a meal before that money even hits your bank account, the interest has already devoured it. Why do so many people fall into this pit? Because modern society has designed a perfect psychological trap. They train you to focus on the monthly payment instead of the total price. When you walk into a car dealership, the salesman won't ask, is $50,000 too much for this car? Instead, he'll smile and ask, can you afford $600 a month? That question is lethal. The moment you start thinking in terms of monthly payments, you have lost control of your money. You are no longer buying a product. You are renting your life. You rent your car, you rent your home, and through installments, you even rent your clothes and your dinners. You think you own these things, but in reality, these debts own you. If you are a late starter, you absolutely positively cannot afford to have a single penny of high interest debt. If you have $1,000 in your hand and you owe $1,000 on a credit card at 20% interest, paying off that debt is the best investment you will ever find. It is a guaranteed 20% return. You won't find a deal that good anywhere else in the world. I only have one piece of advice about borrowing money. If you are smart, you don't need it. If you aren't smart, you shouldn't be using it. So check your statements. Look at the tapeworms sucking the blood out of your future until they are completely flushed out of your system. Don't talk to me about investing, and don't talk to me about getting rich. Kill the tapeworm first. Only then can you start to grow. The third thief we need to talk about is a con artist disguised as security. It constantly whispers in your ear, keep your money in the bank, it's safe there, you'll never lose a cent. This thief is called the cash delusion. Many people, especially those who start late and are afraid of risk, love seeing that unchanging number in their bank passbook. They feel that as long as the number doesn't go down, they are safe. But I am here to tell you a brutal truth. In an era of inflation, your cash is like an ice cube sitting in the sun. You think you are holding a solid object, but in reality, it is constantly dripping. Although it looks like the shape hasn't changed, its weight is decreasing every single second. I have always said that cash is the worst investment you can make. Why? Because it produces nothing, and its purchasing power is guaranteed to collapse over time. If you look back over the last 50 years, you will find that the risk of holding cash is actually much higher than the risk of holding shares in high-quality businesses. People constantly confuse volatility with risk. The numbers in your bank account don't fluctuate, so you think they aren't risky. The stock market jumps every day, so you think it's dangerous. But true risk is not the movement of numbers, it is the permanent loss of purchasing power. Think about it. If you saved $10,000 20 years ago back then, that money might have bought a decent car. Today, that $10,000 is still there. The number hasn't changed. But now it might only buy the 4 wheels of that same car. Who stole the rest? Inflation, that invisible, relentless money printing machine. If you are a late starter, your most precious resource is not money, it is the remaining time. If you spend your remaining time holding onto a melting ice cube, you will never reach your destination. I don't like cash, I like productive assets. What is a productive asset? It's a farm that keeps growing crops. It's an apartment building that produces monthly rent. It's a great company like Coca-Cola or Apple that provides value to billions of people every day and brings back the profit. When you own a piece of a great business, you don't own a flickering ticker symbol. You own thousands of people working for you, and you own the pricing power that fights inflation. If the price of bread goes up, the bakery makes more money. If the price of Coke goes up, the company's profits rise accordingly. But if you only hold paper money, you just watch it get thinner and thinner. Stop being deceived by that so-called security. Aside from a 6-month emergency fund, every dollar of cash in your hand should be a soldier on standby. Do not let your soldiers sleep in the barracks. That is the ultimate neglect of your future. Send them out to battle. Send them to capture the territories where wealth grows. The fourth thief we need to talk about is a flamboyant, smiling swindler. He leans into your ear and whispers, hey, I know a way you can double your money overnight. This thief is called the casino effect. Most people enter the investment market holding a lottery ticket instead of an analysis report. They don't care what the company actually does, and they don't care about its financial statements. They only care about one thing. Will that flickering ticker symbol turn green tomorrow? I have always said that if you buy a stock because you expect the price to go up, that's not investing. That is speculation. To put it bluntly, it is gambling. In a casino, the fastest way to go bankrupt is to be in a hurry. This is especially true for those who feel they started late. They feel like steady long-term investing is too slow. They feel they need a moonshot crypto, a meme stock, or a massive all-in bet to change their destiny in one move. But you must understand that the financial market is a device designed to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. Every time you follow a so-called hot tip or rush into a trade because you saw a success story on social media, you are the favorite guest in the casino. You are providing liquidity, or in plain terms, you are the one getting slaughtered. Investing should be boring. It should be like watching grass grow or watching paint dry. If you find investing exciting, if your heart is racing, then you are almost certainly doing it wrong. I have two very simple rules for investing. Rule number one, never lose money. Rule number two, never forget. Rule number one, how do you avoid losing money? The answer is to stay within your circle of competence. If you don't understand semiconductors, stay away from chip stocks. If you don't understand biotechnology, don't listen to complex clinical trial reports. Most people will research for 3 weeks before buying a $500 television, yet they will spend 3 minutes watching a short video before dropping $50,000 on a stock. It is sheer madness. Charlie Munger used to say, the big money is not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. If you buy a farm, you don't check its price every day. You care about how much corn it produces. If you buy shares in a great company, you should think like an owner of the entire business. As long as it is profitable and has a moat, you shouldn't feel a hint of panic, even if the stock market closed for 5 years. Do not chase the shiny objects. Those who try to get rich quick through leverage, options, or penny stocks eventually realize they are just paving the road for the truly wealthy. Stick to your circle of competence. Endure the slow, even boring growth. Understand that the most magical part of compounding happens at the end of the curve. If you crash your car in the first half because you were trying to speed, you will never see the view at the finish line. The final thief we need to discuss is the greediest of them all. He doesn't just steal your money. He steals the only non-renewable asset you possess, your time. This thief is called the stagnation trap. Most people stop learning the moment they walk out of the school gates. They think their education is over, and the rest of their lives should be spent selling their labor or time for a paycheck. But I am here to tell you, your greatest asset is not your bank account. It's not your house. It is you. If you spend 4 hours every day scrolling through short videos and consuming entertainment gossip that has zero relevance to your life, you are feeding your brain junk food. You think you are just relaxing, but in reality, you are destroying your core productivity with your own hands. Charlie Munger and I often say that we aren't really in the finance business, we are in the learning business. If you observed my day, you would see that I spend most of my time simply sitting and reading. I read newspapers. I read financial statements. I read biographies. Why? Because knowledge compounds just like money. A business logic you learn today might help you avoid a massive pitfall 10 years from now. A piece of wisdom you read today might help you seize a life-changing opportunity next year. The accumulation of knowledge is like rolling a snowball. At first you might not see much change, but over time your cognitive boundaries expand until you can see the wealth codes that ordinary people are blind to. I've seen too many young people willing to walk 3 blocks to save $2 on a purchase, but unwilling to spend $20 on a book that could transform their entire way of thinking. This is called tactical diligence, strategic laziness. Investing in yourself is the only investment that is tax-free, cannot be stolen, and offers an infinite rate of return. If you can improve your skills by 10% or your communication ability by 50%, your wealth-generating power will undergo a qualitative leap. This is far more reliable than any stock market fluctuation. Stop making the excuse that you don't have time. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. The difference is that mediocre people trade time for temporary pleasure, while the wealthy trade time for long-term freedom. The grand conclusion, the ultimate truth of financial rescue. All right, we have covered a lot in these 40 minutes. We talked about how performance spending makes you lose your substance for the sake of face. We talked about how reverse compounding sucks your blood like a tapeworm. We talked about how the cash delusion lets your assets melt in the sun. We talked about how the casino effect exploits your greed to ruin you. And finally, we talked about how intellectual stagnation steals your most precious time. These 5 thieves are moving in and out of your life every single day. If you feel like life is hard right now, if you feel like you started too late, if you feel like the pressure is suffocating you, remember my words, the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. But today I have placed the key in your hand. Breaking these chains will be painful. You might have to sell the car that feeds your vanity. You might have to delete the apps that keep you addicted. You might have to say no to meaningless social gatherings. But this isn't just about money. This is about reclaiming the initiative of your life. The most expensive thing in this world is not a diamond or a mansion. It is the power of choice. When you are no longer a hostage to these bad habits, you gain the power to say no to the world. My words end here. The map is in your hands. The plan has been laid out. The only variable left is you. Stop waiting for tomorrow. Tomorrow is the sanctuary of failures. Starting today, starting this very moment, go and fix your leaking bucket. Get to work, keep learning, and win back your freedom.